most of this stuff.
Okay, I don't think you got last. That's what the important part is.
Oh, I think all Matt did get last.
We'll find out. Don't preempt anything.
Just don't want to raise your hopes too much, man.
No, that's fair.
Which, going... Oh, actually, I'll just talk about my intro.
Get busy, do it, get up and say you want me. Get busy, do it for the night is over.
Oh, that's a great song. That's a great
I was
song.
gonna say, why does that sound
We
familiar?
get the part up now. Da 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 da. Get up, get up. Okay, we're live, guys.
Pump up the jam, pump it up.
up.
The bass is pump it.
Oh.
You'll find out why I said that in a moment. Hello, we are Pixel Points. We are the only podcast that talks about two things that we enjoy, which is good beer and video games. We're not here to promote advertising video games, potentially, possibly. There are other outlets that do that better than we do. We are here to talk about good beer and video games. I did the skit and I've completely lost track of where I was with the intro. Please drink and advertise video games responsibly. Ruined the opening.
It's all right. We can get on with it. What are we going to be talking about this episode, Keith?
Wait,
We're going to be announced.
Don't we have beers first?
No, we've got. So just do the quick show rundown for all the people listening, so they know what sweet stuff they
This
can
is
get
a
in
new
their
kind of
ear holes.
intro. We don't do a rundown. What this is casual.
I've been doing a sort of rundown the last couple of episodes, but just by saying what we're going to be talking about briefly, and then getting into beers.
It's probably responsible to do so, right?
Yeah. We will be announcing the winner of the Game of the Game Awards. We may just announce the winner and no one else, where everyone else came. We're talking about beers and games, but we will be talking about some of the major announcements, other things. Geoff Keighley's sartorial standards. We'll be discussing those for definite, because we will be talking again about the Game Awards, the hottest news story of the week. It must have been really hot, because I don't remember seeing Geoff Keighley in a wide shot, so we can't confirm that if he was or wasn't wearing socks.
You just don't believe me. I told you he wasn't.
I don't believe you, no. Unless you send me the screenshots, I don't believe you.
God, I don't want to scour through 3.5 hours of a Game Awards show just to find the shot where he wasn't wearing the socks.
But he also wasn't wearing cufflinks or a tie.
He was wearing bedazzled, like, whatever on his
Oh, yeah.
On his shirt collar.
Yeah, it was so weird. It looked so strange. I was like, bad fashion choice, my man. Bad fashion choice.
I didn't think it looked that bad.
Oh, it looked it looked fugly.
No,
someone should say, Jeff, mate, I know it's your show and you can pretty much choose to wear what you want, but go and... Okay, the suit, okay, let's go with it. That shirt, get that out.
I mean, to be honest, he should use the money to hire a stylist. He's got plenty of it.
It was a bit Liberace, I think.
Barring Jeff's sartorial standards, which seem to be changing year on year. So now it's gone to no socks, now it's no ties and no cufflinks.
Now it's going to be no shoes, no shirt, no problems.
I mean, Ferris showed up in a T-shirt and accepted an award. Tim Schafer was there.
Well, he
suit.
he was buffed out, so all the ladies would have loved that. He had like his man boobs and his arms sticking out, like, yeah.
So if Geoff Keighley, say, walked into a coffee shop, no shoes, no shirt, would he still get service?
He might.
Depends on what kind of underwear he's wearing.
And would he walk out saying, "Girls, look at my body. Girls, look at my body." Anyway, that's Liam. How's things with you?
it's going well.
Good.
I actually had a good Thursday night. I'm not sure the rest of the world agrees with me.
There was no chance in hell that I was going to stay up until whatever it would have been 4 o'clock in the morning to watch.
It was about 4:30 by the time I got in bed. So yeah.
Nah, not on a school night. Mitch, how's things in LA?
It's good. Which, for the record, I had to look back at the Game of the Game Awards. We've only done one of them. We keep saying we've done two. We technically only did two. We only done one. I looked back. We don't have it archived on an episode, and when I looked back in our Discord, you skipped it because you didn't want me to win. And then, so the reason why
we did it on the beer envelope.
No, we didn't. And then the reason I got to pick the game of the year is because I won the fantasy draft that year.
Okay.
But and just I was looking back because I wanted to look up the scores and show everybody how much I dominate, and then I was like, oh, I only dominated once by 2 points. So, but no, I'm good. You know, I felt some vindication with being stepped on Thursday with best performance.
I don't know what you mean, Matt. What's the temperature in Las Vegas?
Well, since we're split, I'll do both. It's 2C or 35 Fahrenheit.
Keith, it is 10C here in LA.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot warmer than it is here. It's practically freezing.
Well, hey, I love the cold. I live the cold.
Yeah. So it does,
when
it
you
does get
move
cold
from
in Vegas.
Minnesota, so you've kind of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then basically desert.
Yeah.
So winter wardrobe, is that just all in storage somewhere? No, don't answer that question.
No, actually, legitimately, I tried to put on one of my jackets that is like a fall jacket, and I was too warm. I had immediately I got outside and I was like, this is gonna be hella hot. Let me put that back. And I literally go to sleep. Most of the time, I think I've only slept under my covers in my bed 3 times since I've lived here in LA because I'm not cold.
What?
I know a guy I used to work with emigrated to Australia, and he just gave pretty much his entire winter wardrobe to charity because he knew he'd never need it.
I mean, I haven't worn some of my long sleeve shirts since I moved here. That's how warm it is to me. Everyone else out there is when I play tennis is in sweatpants and jackets and the tight fitted stuff to be able to keep warm. Here I am in shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm like, you guys are making me feel too hot.
Sorry, your blood will thin out in a couple of years.
No, it's not going to. I will never.
Your skin will,
I refuse to be one of those people.
Right, so let's move on to beers. Or any interesting beverages people might have.
Yeah, I had pretty good Weizenbach last night at Big Dogs. Yeah, I don't know if I can pull up the image really quick, but it was really good. It was the malt was complex, and there was a nice baseline hop. It was kind of like a dryness to it. So. Definitely recommend if you're in Vegas and want something else to drink.
Good. If you ever are in Vegas, go to Big Dogs and then ask them if they serve big dogs, and they won't because they're morons. How can you have a place called Big Dogs and then not serve big hot dogs? I just don't get it.
Or at least not.
There's a big dog out front.
Is it a legit big dog, or is it a statue?
Well, it's a statue, but it's giant.
See, I would have said I would have had a big dog mascot where an actual dog is in the brewery.
They do, don't they? That's the dog on the cans that they would.
No. Yeah. I mean a real dog, one that can pet. That would be a great what do you call it? Oh geez. Wow. No, I can't even think of the words right now. Wow.
Mascot.
No, it's something that people go see when they go on a trip. What do you call it? A tourism,
a marketing
tourist
gimmick?
Attraction.
Yeah, thank you, tourist attraction. I'm sorry, the Game Awards just melt my brain because it was just so
bland.
Yeah. So I can't think today, and I'm playing Halo, so that helps too.
Yeah. Talking something that isn't bland.
Interesting.
Tiny Rebel,
up
pump
the jam,
up the jam,
pump it
up.
Jam
donut pale ale. Wow, it's a bright pink. For anyone listening, it's a bright pink can.
It's obnoxiously pink.
Yes, it's quite an obnoxious beer actually.
It looks like spray paint for that on the shape of the donut too. It's got that or a paintbrush feel. It's got that paintbrush look at least.
Do you guys have Pepto-Bismol in the UK?
Yeah, it doesn't look like that. It's a darker, it's a lot darker than I thought it would be.
I would have laughed more if that thing came out pink.
Yeah.
I'd be more impressed.
You do get a lot of strawberry, but then it's kind of overly overly sweet finish. It reminds me a lot of strawberry Hubba Bubba.
Oh, or I mean, the can does look a little bit like a gum package, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's got the color, the tint of the pink does look like something I would see in a Hubba Bubba bubble gum. Actually, it's bubble gum looking. Actually,
I'd have one. I wouldn't be in a hurry back to get another one.
Yeah,
it would be good if you kind of got it in some random packs and said, "Here, try that, see what you think." This was on TV as well. It's on a cookery show so that where normally they'd have a massive section about wine, they did craft beer, and this was one of them.
I wonder if you could use it in like a pork sauce, because pork goes good with sweet. That you could like use it and try to render it down into a pork sauce.
I wouldn't use this.
Oh, okay. It's just a thought,
Yeah.
Trying to grasp ideas from you of like how to better utilize it besides saying I don't want another one.
It's interesting, but not in an overly enjoyable way.
Okay.
I don't have any. Well, I mean, I have it. If people want like an alternative to water, this is what I use personally, and I've helped to. It's helped me to drink a lot more water and less like soda and things like that. Well, actually, I haven't had soda in a while either, but I do these Mio things where you just spray it into your, squirt it into your water, and it gives some flavor to it. But it's like got no calories, but it's got a lot of different vitamins and minerals and flavors. So I like it. So that's what I do on the side. So that's what I'm drinking, which is my water tinted. I don't think you can even tell. It's too light.
Yeah, you can.
Just barely. It looks like contaminated water. Because technically
Liam,
it is contaminated.
Anything from you?
No. Other than I do something similar to Mitch, but I just have squash.
Yes, Robinson's, I hope.
Yes. Some down there, I think.
He's fine. He's had all the games he wants down his throat to enjoy and savor and during the Game Awards to geek out to.
Well, I think Liam's probably just excited about Persona 4 Arena Ultimate Max Ultimation something.
It's one of the few things I was disappointed by.
Oh my god! For the 25th anniversary, really, I thought
they've
for
still
sure
got
we
until
were
next
gonna get.
September.
But I thought for sure we were gonna get a 3FES PC release, and they didn't.
We are getting ahead of
I was
ourselves.
hoping for a free remake.
Okay.
We are getting ahead of ourselves because we need to go through the scores for the Game Awards from last week. So, shall I just go through last to first?
Well, do you want to go through the award?
I think we should go through each of the categories and who won them.
And then you can give the final.
That will take too long. We've got games to talk about.
Okay, fine. All right.
That's fair.
What's the scores?
Right. So, with 9 points coming in last place.
Can I guess? Can we do it like a guessing game of who got what points?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm going to say Matt got the 9 points.
So just to say as well, so no one got the correct order of picks.
Yeah.
Right.
So no one gets an extra 10 points. And also 2 points. And also to say Joseph Farris didn't say fuck Activision, fuck Bobby Kotick.
But he did say fuck the Oscars again. Or, sorry, quote unquote, the Oscars got fucked.
Right.
And we can't confirm that Geoff Keighley was wearing odd socks. So that's Michael's points out as well. So coming in last place with 9 points was me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. You were doing horrible. I forgot about that. You had like 2 points in the midway. It was bad.
You had a couple picks that I was like, oh yeah, Keith was actually smart with that.
And then coming in next in fourth place with 11 points was Matt.
Mm-hmm. Yay! I'm not dead last.
Then it's Liam.
Coming in third place with 14 points was Michael.
Oh.
All right.
Coming in second place with 19 points was Liam. which means Mitch is our winner.
With how many points, though?
25 points.
19. That's not bad. I feel quite pleased. I thought it'd be less than that.
Oh man. I didn't know it was going to be 25. Holy crap. I knew I got a lot of points. I did get a lot of points where it was the person got it wrong and then I got it right, so then I get an additional 1 point. And then there was only a couple times where I did have someone doing it with me, so then they would get the same amount of points. But and I banked my 8 points instantly.
Yeah, so it was basically the 2 picks for Kenna and Lady Dimitrescu that won it for you.
Yeah. So when they announced Maggie Robertson as winning Best Performance, and as she was walking up to accept the award, my wife goes, "Jesus, she's got some incredible boob tape on." Which
you know, she had a really good speech too. Like to give all the credit to, like, of, you know, thinking about it in past tense for her, being like, yes, did she become this like icon of people being like sexual fantasize about her, but it also did change her career and change her life and her trajectory in regards to like probably getting more gigs, and she did a great performance. So like that, it good for her. Like, yeah, good for her. And also, God, those villains were really memorable in Resident Evil. So like, she deserved it. She was great.
Note to self for next time. Don't pick esports teams, because I know nothing about it.
I'm glad that I was right on that one.
You gave me the points, Matt, because I went with you.
I should have gone with Matt as well.
I did get the lock for Genshin Impact on mobile.
Yep.
So obviously, I'm the worst core gamer out of the lot of us. Hardcore gamer.
Oh, go ahead.
From this point on, I only play games that end in souls or born.
Finally, yes.
Well, to be honest, your guys' biggest mistake was you guys gave me the 2 instant easies, which was the layups. Well, I mean, the first one you can't prevent, but you could have prevented the second one, for God's sakes.
Yeah, well, it's the case of couldn't see wood-foot trees, isn't it?
I don't care. I already knew what I was picking before I started.
So, Liam, my Yorkshire accent impression just confused the fuck out of the 2 Americans.
Yeah, I was like, it was
I just went along with it. Like, okay.
I almost thought it was a half a sentence, and it got cut off from.
It basically is. Couldn't see wood-foot trees.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean, Keith? Do you have to?
Big Eye York.
Shall I translate?
You can't. You should translate.
You can't see the. Oh God, I actually say.
Oh, you can't see the leaves from the trees.
The wood for the trees.
The wood from the trees.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you do it in Yorkshire, like.
Yeah, I mean, basically in a nutshell, well, it gave me the advantage because I knew I could lock those out and get those instantly, and then I knew of other picks that I thought I could win on. That when you guys got them, when I had a different opinion from yours, it basically gave me an opportunity to claim points. So, yeah, it's almost this game is like you need to bank yours instantly and know that everyone else is going to pick it, because then you lock them out from points. That's like the most important part of the game.
Yeah, that was your fatal mistake, Matt. Is you didn't lock something on your first go.
Well, I mean,
you need
the
to know
stuff that I did
Matt
lock,
was probably
though,
the drunk, high, or tired, or potentially all 3.
So the stuff that I did lock, though, I locked, if I remember correctly, Most Anticipated, which I did.
Yeah, which is Elden Ring, which was obvious. Is it? We should Halo, would it? It's Jesus. Right, should we deal with the big one? Deal with.
Hold on, you gotta tell the people of what I won.
Well, I'm actually thinking of something else. So, because you've won this, you get to name the Pixel Pints Game of the Year. But the year that has been doesn't seem like that's that much of a reward.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I was going to say, you get to pick the first category in the quiz for January.
Oh, I like this. Okay, that sounds fun. Okay, cool. Thank you.
No, it's way more fun than just a high five, Panzu.
I mean,
way more than a high five.
I remember the first year you let me. What was it? Someone. I had to force someone to agree with me, and I got the power just once.
Oh God, that was a good idea
For the entire year. I was gonna say, can you give me that one too?
That may come in if you win the quiz.
Okay.
We need to make sure that Yakuza stays a good series on into next
for
year.
another year. Well, it's only once. I can only use it one time. It's a one-time power. Yeah. But I remember I remember it was before I went to join Sifton, and I was like, I could make Shane agree with me because it's a forceful power on the show.
I was thinking because that's quite powerful. Like if you just had like the power to stop someone who you were disagreeing with on just one particular like episode.
That's where it came in.
Yeah, that's where it basically you must shut up. You must agree with me.
Yeah. I was like, okay, no. Okay.
So, that may come in next week when we do the last quiz of the year. So prizes for that still TBD. But right now, can we? Let's. I don't care about the awards, if I'm honest.
Well, can we just say the upset of It Takes Two? Wow.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was.
I was like shocked.
So none of us got that right. None of us picked it.
No one even thought it was going to win.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I could think of is why it won is because it was a split vote. Like it was just so split between all the games that it just happened to. It was like it must have been like it had like 42% and the other one had like 38, or it's like such a small minute difference that it happened to win. Like I just don't know how else it would have won.
I have it. Mrs. McWomble and I are going to play it.
I played it with my friend. It's really good. I do enjoy it. My friend and I have to finish it, but we've played the first 2.5 levels, and it's a lot of fun as a co-op game. It is a blast. Do I think it's like game changing as a co-op game? No, but I think it's a lot of fun.
Can we do the ubiquitous Hideo Kojima appearance?
Oh my God!
To say that I'll be back next year.
Yeah. So right, for anyone's interest,
Keighley's got to get his heart on somehow.
Jesus. It's a bit aggressive.
Well, he's crying over the man.
Nobody's talking about it, but doesn't it seem pretty obvious that he's working on Silent Hill now? Like after Gilbert just dropped that like that?
No. Guillermo likes to
I think that's very obvious.
No, it's not obvious.
Kojima is not very obvious.
No, Guillermo does that all the time. Like projects that have been canceled, he constantly talks about. He basically likes to say, because he likes to say, "F you, I have an Oscar. You should have let me do what I wanted to do." Because that's basically what he's been doing since he's gotten his Oscar. He's been in interviews when people talk about like, "Oh, what happened to this project?" And he goes, "Well, should ask them. Like, it would have been a great movie. Like, I had a script ready to go. It would have been great." And like that's literally what he says. And then all of them, and then that's what he does. Like, and he's not making Silent Hill.
What did he win an Oscar for, Mitch? I've forgotten.
Pan's Labyrinth.
No, it's the fish movie, the Fishman movie.
Yes. Wow, that film is awful.
Oh, okay. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I fell in love
Lady
with the
in the Deep or something, Sea of Water or something. Let me look it up.
It's not Big Fish.
No.
That was the Big Fish, the film that didn't actually have any fish in it. Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. That's what it is. Thank you.
So we're not here to talk about films, for fuck's sake. We're here to talk about game announcements. So can we just say what's the point of having a pre-show?
I don't know.
Put more advertisements in.
I know. There's a very good point. To announce that Expanse game.
I don't know what the purpose was. I do know that I'm seriously considering switching to Verizon 5G though.
So what we saw in the pre-show was quite possibly the most blatant Zelda rip-off I've ever seen.
What, Tunic?
Tunic.
That's
So
fine.
as opposed to the Triforce, you've got these 3 coloured squares that go together and form some weird octagon shape.
Hey, they could Zelda better than Zelda.
They might do, but as soon as I started seeing the trailer that you're showing now, Mitch, oh my god. I'm a massive fan of The Expanse. It is my second favourite sci-fi show of all time after Babylon 5.
I didn't even know it was a show.
It's a great sci-fi show.
You've been around us talking about it for this long. How could you not
I know,
what it
for
is?
years.
Goodness
They've been
gracious.
Well,
Mitch.
that makes sense. When I was looking up the trailer, I saw a TV show, and then you all didn't answer me. You all didn't go, "Oh, it's a show." You didn't know. Like I was like,
We just expected that you would understand.
I'm insulted right now.
And Kamina Drummer is one of the best sci-fi characters. It's a very complex storylines, a complex character. So having a choice-based game set around her, I think, makes absolute sense. That is the thing that I'm most excited for out of this, because outside of known quantities, I think, so without kind of wanting to get too far ahead, obviously Horizon Forbidden West would be my favourite thing shown.
"Oh my god, yes! Oh, why didn't you tell me to grab that trailer? I forgot how good that was with all the different creatures." And it's like, oh my god, they have expanded this like no other. The freaking snake was amazing.
Yeah,
like,
the giant
snake
up
the, oh, it's like
the stone
they
spire.
had little velociraptors. Like, keep talking. I'm gonna grab that trailer because it is so good.
I love
so
how colorful
good.
it is.
Oh yeah.
So before we get away from The Expanse, I just
No.
It's
over. It's over. You
I
lost your chance. It's over. It's over.
I didn't even get to speak about it.
Well,
damn it!
You should have hopped in. No, go ahead. I'll get the. What do you want your thoughts, Liam?
Okay, I was just saying, I am so happy that it's in development at Deck 9 as well, because Deck 9 is a very underrated studio. Like, most people seem pretty upset with the fact that Dontnod aren't making Life is Strange games anymore, but I'm very happy about it because in terms of storytelling, Deck 9 knows how to tell excellent stories with great beginnings, middles, and ends, and narrative cohesion, as opposed to something very lacking at fucking Dontnod.
And the one thing that I like about The Expanse as a show, which I hope they bring into the game, is the fact that there's no real clear and obvious good/bad choice. It's kind of degrees of shitness.
Gray. It's a very gray game.
Well, it's set in space, so it's mainly going to be black with some little white dots. But I really hope they bring that kind of level of choice into it, so it's kind of, as a result, something is going to go wrong or badly as a result of all the choices that you make. So you're going for the least worst option in the moment, rather than the choices in, say, Mass Effect 2 and 3, which is just blatant good road, bad road.
Right.
Okay.
I hope they have some good physics moments too.
Yeah. Zero G fight scenes and all that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, now back to this wonderful trailer with all these monsters. What the? It's like, I think I saw a Velociraptor in that mix too.
Or something that looks like a velociraptor.
Yeah. I mean, there is so many. And then I guess you will fight the creatures underwater. Because she was dodging.
Okay.
Yeah, and they showed some new abilities, like the slingshot thing. Now you shoot multiple things out.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we've seen the mammoths before. These lion panther things look a bit different to the ones from the first game.
There's also like these roly thingies that look like that also
the
look
turtles,
like
snapping turtles.
I don't think it's a turtle. The turtle doesn't roll. The turtle just jumps. But there's a creature that rolls.
Oh, those, yeah.
That one's cool. This is the best shot of the whole thing. Like, oh, look at that snake. It's like, it reminds me of what, like, what was it? the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, not Odyssey, but Assassin's Creed Origins tried to do with the giant snake, and it's like, oh, that doesn't really work in this like context of this world. This totally works in the context of this world. It's so badass.
So whoever's in the chat, Panzu, if you've not played the first game, it is brilliant. It is quite possibly one of the best open world games. It's not full of busy work, and the busy work links back to the story.
The monsters themselves are puzzles, and it's really great to create strategies to figure out how to beat the monsters. It came out the same year as Breath of the Wild, and it got snubbed for saying that
it should have won.
For saying that Breath of the Wild is better than this game is a massive understatement.
Horizon Zero Dawn is so good. Hideo Kojima, I mean God himself, picked their game engine to make that Mailman Simulator.
Yeah.
I've got a confession about this year. Out of every game I've played this year, I think replaying Horizon Zero Dawn was actually my favourite game that I've played this year.
I have it downloaded. I wish my PlayStation didn't sound like an aircraft carrier taking off.
Hey, doesn't matter what it's...
play on PlayStation 5 with 60 FPS.
If I could find one.
It really improves it.
Matt, it doesn't matter what your PlayStation sounds like. It's what's beautiful on the screen.
And there's these wonderful things called headphones.
Yeah, they're great. Don't you use them? I think you're using one.
Right, who's got a game they would like to talk about?
I would like to talk about Wonder Woman. It was just a brief reveal trailer, but I think it's going to be interesting because it's by the same guys that did Middle Earth, right?
Yes, it is, which is fascinating.
I think there's some potential there. I think there's a lot of stuff they can work with. She's got all different types of weapons and things that can be used and upgraded, and
sword, shield,
whip,
the lasso.
Yeah,
lasso of truth. This could be the game because Wonder Woman's skill set power wise is very similar to Superman, except she doesn't have laser eye beams, but she can fly. She has super strength. This could be like the one game that redeems a Superman game of being like showing that you could make a Superman game by making a Wonder Woman game.
So I think, it depends on what version of Wonder Woman you're talking about.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't think she flies in most of the iterations that I've seen.
Oh, I guess what I've grown up with the Justice League animated TV show, she does fly.
Oh, she's got the invisible jet.
No. I'm talking about the Justice League TV show.
Usually meant to fly.
She flies.
Yeah, in the TV show she does. That's why she never needed the invisible jet. Maybe they just didn't want to pay for the rights to it.
But I guess they could take from what they did with the movie, which is she like lassos onto lightning. That would be pretty cool to like.
No, that was fucking awful. That movie. I want to block that movie from my mind.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about Wonder Woman. There's two different versions of Wonder Woman, like Matt said, and there's the lover Wonder Woman and there's the fighter Wonder Woman. And it's literally trying to balance between the two types of Wonder Woman, and that's why the sequel to Wonder Woman 1984 was not as well received to a lot of people because it was more the lover Wonder Woman than the fighter. In the first one, you get more of the fighter Wonder Woman.
I haven't seen either of the movies.
I think the thing wrong with the second movie was the writing, pacing, villains. Direction, editing, CG fight scenes, and script.
There was no fight scenes.
Other than that, it was great.
Special effects.
There was no fight scenes. That's why I focused more on the lover Wonder Woman than the fighter.
And the guy from Wonder Woman being able to fly a supersonic jet.
I remember watching a pussycat and a woman in a golden suit fighting in pitch darkness, and I thought, I know what the fuck's going on because I literally can't see anything.
No.
I can't have that scene removed from my brain for some reason. It so hideous.
I completely forgot it already. This could be really good. I think the crew at Monolith our proven track record. Like, I think their controversy was more about the executives at Warner Brothers than the actual like game itself, because it was made because they had to do grinding for their loot in the sequel to Shadow of Mordor, which was Shadow of War.
Yeah.
So like the game itself was still a good game. It just had dealt with the higher ups messing with their game, and so I do have confidence in them to pull something like this out.
Question for the group.
Yeah.
This game gets higher review scores with a DC property than Suicide Squad or not?
I would say yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Based on what I've seen, based on what I've seen from Suicide Squad, yes.
I think they come in around the same. They're probably going to score around the same.
Not if it's well, here will be the difference. If it's a more narrative focused, then yes, it will definitely get way higher review scores then. Because to be honest, and I guess we can go right into it. Suicide Squad to me doesn't look very good. It looks like your basic multiplayer game that every other game you play, and the writing doesn't hit for me at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
the writing's pretty bad, in my opinion.
Matt, as our resident comic book expert, please pass judgment.
I mean, I don't know. I've never been from the moment they said they were working on this and they showed some of it. I haven't been interested, and I'm not really that interested because it doesn't look like a comic book to me. But
they're trying to make
I'm weird in the aesthetics.
They're trying to make Suicide Squad happen, and it's like trying to make Fetch happen. It's just not going to happen. Like, just
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
I disagree. Like, I'll say first, the Wonder Woman game. I really thought that announcement was pointless and with no value whatsoever. Because I'm getting tired of games getting revealed.
What? Okay, hold on. But you
reveal trailers are pointless, and the Game Awards by extension are also pointless.
And then
yes,
also,
you could say that, yeah.
But also, this is hypocritical because I've heard you talk about Microsoft in their reveals and being like, "Oh, they're such great reveals," and I'm like, "It's just a title."
I've never said that.
Yes, you did last year at the E3. We talked about this.
Oh, I said the E3 was good. It doesn't mean I thought every announcement was good. Like, I'd need a little bit more context.
No, you said Microsoft had a great show for showing nothing like this.
Well, I disagree with that, and I'm just talking about Wonder Woman. Geez, I thought, like, just showing the logo and a bit of a costume is just like, well, it doesn't show anything.
It doesn't tell you anything. That's all I took from it.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's going to be a game at some point. Great, well done.
Yeah. And if Microsoft shows something like Avowed, it like shows a bit of the world and look at all of these cool locations and stuff. Not much, but at least it's something, you know. And I had my feelings clarified to me because apparently that Wonder Woman trailer was put into the show at last minute because they pulled Hogwarts Legacy from the show for some reason.
Well, for some reason.
Yeah. Could be all manner of reasons, but
do you think
the main one is J.K. Rowling being a horrendous turf, but whether or not you agree with her or not, or agree with how she's viewed or not, I think Keighley wanted to avoid any form of controversy that there could possibly be in this showing.
Do you think these thinking about it now because of the Suicide Squad game and it's killing the Justice League and Wonder Woman is in the Justice League? Do you think it'll be the same Wonder Woman?
No. This game's set in Suicide Squad game is set in Rocksteady's Arkhamverse, which is basically like the same ones as the Batman Arkham games. And it seems that everything else that they're doing DC related is set in other universes, or at least one other universe. I don't know. It's confusing.
Not
not
necessarily, because isn't the Arkham Knights set in the Arkham universe? So that's not being built by Rocksteady.
You're talking about Arkham Origins.
No, Arkham Knights.
You're talking about Gotham Knights.
Oh, Gotham Knights. Yeah. But it's
set Gotham Knights is not set in the Arkhamverse.
Are you sure? Yeah. I thought I read that.
I'm 100% sure about this because it's annoying.
Yeah, Rocksteady are very clear about what area of the IP they own.
I'm curious about WB in general. If this will be this is going to be their next step to
many
making.
People are curious about what the fuck is going on at WB in general.
Yes,
because they can't seem. Sorry, Liam, you carry on. Talk about Suicide Squad.
I was just because most people don't know this about Arkham Origins. Do you remember the sort of like weird little sort of prequel spin-off game that WB Games did in 2013?
Yeah, WB Montreal did that.
Yeah, Montreal did that project.
Arkham Origins technically isn't set in the same universe as Arkham Asylum, City, and Night, which is the most strange thing ever. It can fit into it, but apparently it doesn't.
Well, who cares? I mean, comics and superheroes have been retconned over the years so many times that someone invented a character called Deadpool to kill the entire Marvel universe, which is actually a really good comic.
It's confusing, is my point. It's just
I think if there's any group of people that's going to, sorry, Keith, I didn't mean to make you mad.
Talk about the game.
But if to be honest, like if there's one group of like community that would understand that, like if they're not part of the same universe, it's going to be gamers. Like that's the one community you don't have to try to educate.
If there's anything, Pansu, please tell me if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Said in the comments, Jeff wanted to avoid a PR disaster and there was no Activision or Ubisoft announcements. But most gamers really don't give a shit. And it's really, really disappointing that that's the case.
Yeah.
Because if people did give a shit, one, we'd get better games. Two, we'd end up with less Cyberpunk 2077s and Witcher 3s and Witcher 2s.
And any what is it? Jesus.
Which
CD Projekt Red games. Any CD Projekt Red game.
GTA trilogy release. And the other thing is we'd have more ethical and fairer working circumstances for people who work in the games industry, as much as Matt may hate that.
I mean, I think if some of the changes were made that you're suggesting, we would see less games come out over the year.
But they may be better.
Because it would take longer for them to do it.
Would you take less and better?
I would take less and better.
Yeah, absolutely. There's already too much shit to play.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. So if you like dwindle it down by like 10 or 20%, that's not that much of a difference.
Anyway, back to Suicide Squad, the game. So I need to say I was working yesterday morning and I had this on in the background and I was watching this on the YouTube archive at 1.5 times speed, skipping through all of the bollocks and just watching the trailers. And this one I actually slowed down and watched at normal speed and probably wish I'd just carried on at 1.5. Because this trailer made me feel nothing.
The story seems kind of cool with Flash.
I know, but it's I don't know.
Did you see the little thing they did before they actually showed the trailer for this, Keith? Where they got like the woman who plays Amanda Waller out on stage.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
awesome.
I thought it was horrible.
It was cringy as hell.
Yeah, it was cringy.
Exactly.
It was not even. It was no. It wasn't even funny. Like it just was. I thought it was just bad. It looked like cheap theater, and that's what is like. Wow, for a show that has a budget like this is what you're pulling out. Like,
she was really good in.
No offense to her,
Wolfenstein:
like,
The New Colossus.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Like, I'm not going to take that away from her. She's a great actress, but man, that moment was just cringe and just bad.
I liked that moment, and I also really liked the look of this game. When it first got announced, I thought, "Oh, great, this is shit. This isn't even like the Suicide Squad," which I still agree with, because the Suicide Squad is all about having a large cast of characters that slowly gets whittled down over the course of said thing, you know. And you know, I think the game itself, and I think the writing is really good. Like, I think the comedy will come across really well. I think the characters are charming, and the gameplay looks really good.
I want to like it, but from what I've seen so far, there's just nothing that gets me interested.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree 100% with Keith. Like, I want to love this game, but I think the comedy is so bad. I think it's some of the worst comedy writing I've seen in games in a while, since I even think Guardians of the Galaxy's comedy is not very good. I don't know what it is, but it was bad.
wholeheartedly.
It was just bad in my brain. Anyway, moving on.
Just one more thing I wanted to say is I think one of the things that looks good about it is it looks a lot like Sunset Overdrive, which is a game that I love.
I did like the
feel.
traversal. I did like how it's more colourful and what is it? The thing. What I really want to see, and hi Shelburne, hope you're doing well. One thing I want to see is I want to see a developer walkthrough. I want to see walk me through
how these gadgets work.
How do you swap characters if you're playing single player? If you're playing multiplayer, how does it work without the kind of Ubisoft canned?
How do I use the tools at my
stuff?
Disposal? Like,
Exactly.
is it melee attacks and then each character has a ranged attack? Like, how does this all work? It's I'm sick. Like, this should have been their first trailer. Oh my god, here's my thing about gameplay trailers. To me, in my mind, I do not count this as a gameplay trailer because it does not explain to me how I actually play the game. It just shows the game being played.
Yes.
Well,
I want a developer walkthrough. Shut up, everybody. Developer walkthrough. Thank you very much. We're moving on.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm done talking about
Let's move on to something that was also kind of, I guess this one, we just said Suicide Squad is kind of mixed bag because it's kind of 50-50 split. Let's talk about that Hellblade trailer.
Okay.
Senua's Saga. I will say I'm a huge fan of Hellblade. I'm a huge fan of Hellblade. I've advocated for that game for a long time, and I always said I am always optimistic, but man, this was underwhelming in so many ways, and it doesn't feel like the same game to me.
Well,
I don't think
or the same series.
Yeah.
I think they're taking a drastic direction in this game, and I don't know
Well,
if I like that.
again, all this did was show us the tone and the direction. It didn't actually tell me anything new about what we might be doing. I enjoyed the first one. I wouldn't say it was as amazing as people were making out at the time.
I advocate for the audio. I think the audio is what made it phenomenal. The rest, yes, I would agree with you.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
Stuff, yeah.
Thanks, Phil. I'm in Game Pass. Fucking brilliant. Of course, I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
Would I after playing the first one, would I pay full price to play this? No, probably not. From what I've seen so far, no chance. Even if they showed me the most amazing upgrades from the first game and the combat was way more advanced, still not sure. I do. The thing is, I do like the tone of this trailer. I didn't think it was bad in any way, but
You know what it reminded me of, Keith? And you'll love this.
Scorn.
No, it reminded me of one Hideo Kojima in Death Stranding. That's what this game reminded me of. And I almost thought it was the same. I was like,
Ninja Theory is sending actual ninjas to your flat right now for that comment.
I don't understand that comparison unless you're talking about color palette or something.
well, it's there's so much that reminds me of it's like extremely vague in regards to like these creatures and it.
Yeah, Mitch, one of the problems that I have with this sort of painting a broad brush is you've got so long. Like, this game probably isn't coming out for a while.
This game's 2024.
I mean, you can say that it was announced too soon.
Yeah, it was.
And I would agree with that. I think most games are announced way too soon. But I think, as the next stage in this game's marketing, it fits. And I think the presentation itself is rather underwhelming. And I think maybe they should have shown something else, or maybe a little bit more exciting.
I don't know. I quite like this.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what's intriguing about this. That's the thing. The game was intriguing, and I want to be intrigued, and there's nothing intriguing here.
Mitch, for God's sake, for once, would you let Matt talk?
Sorry, Matt,
Liam, what are you saying?
Other than the world being a little bleak, and the color palette being kind of dark, I thought it looked really good. I think the fidelity is where this game excels. Right, the look of the characters, you get the audio cues as she's sitting there talking to the rest of the tribe. Like, I don't know, I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, tonally, this did a lot. This worked for me, but it doesn't tell me anything really about what I might actually be playing. So obviously she's taken over a village, and they're following her now. So anyway, I
mean, it's going to be some type of third-person action adventure. I mean, we know that, right?
Shelburne, I feel sorry for you, my friend. He said in the chat, I like it. It's bleak. It reminds me of my sex life.
I might have to just jump on Chad just because, I'm find a way to.
We actually have people
you've got
watching
enough
us.
screens for God's sake.
Well, the thing is, it's because I take the desktop audio, it could reverb the audio back for a second. So
don't do that then.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. My last thing on it is okay. It's not to the point where I'm I won't play this game. Just saying that right now. I don't know what I would based off the I don't know I don't know how to explain it. Never mind.
I think it's one very small portion of what will be a much bigger game, and it was underwhelming, and that's all it needs to be. Maybe next time.
That was a great capsule review. Whilst we're doing quick capsule reviews of pointless announcements, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What was the point? Babylon's Fall. Oh my god, that game looks bland as hell.
But Keith, it looks so much better than it looked last time they showed.
Yes,
and it still looks
does. But it's just kind of here's a Japanese slashy game. Okay, funniest trailer: Thirsty Suitors.
Thirsty. I don't even remember that.
It's the Anna Purna interactive game with the Asian family, or as we'd say here, Indian family, where you play as the daughter who's broken a load of people's hearts, and then you've got to fight them in rhythm battles and stuff.
Reminds me of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, it has that same aesthetic too. I thought that looked cute. It looked fun.
Evil
could
West.
be really cringy, but it could be good.
Yeah, Evil West award for video game that looks most like AN video game. You guys were talking about Persona 4 being a massive disappointment. I'd say that you're probably right.
Yeah.
And talking of massive disappointments, Matt, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade Part 7, Paragraph 2, Section B.
I was so close to my prediction.
Maybe he'll play the damn thing now because it's on PC.
For £17.
No, it's on Epic. So, yeah.
The final for our section on disappointments, Gollum.
Oh God! Oh God! Can we talk about that horrible mess? Oh,
not for long, please.
Can I? Okay, the voice is probably the worst imitation of a Gollum voice I've heard in a while. It's like if I went to the local high school, and tried to find who can do the best Gollum and pick the third worst one, and then. So that is that. The animation is not like Gollum. If you watch those films, his movement.
It was a CG trailer, so there's scope for how it might look differently. But who cares? Who thought to greenlight this? Who thought that playing as Gollum was going to be an interesting thing for people to do? Oh my God, Mitch! They should have been in that meeting room.
And it's a stealth game. It's if you're gonna make one, yes, make it a stealth game. So at least there in the room, I would have been if you're gonna make it a stealth game. Cool.
Mitch, this is all your fault.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been applying and they don't hire me, so I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's just bad.
Right. Sorry, what game are we talking about? What's connected?
Gollum. And let's talk about some happy stuff.
Can I just say that the voice acting was so shit, I could do a better Gollum impression.
Do one right now. Show it. Prove it.
Okay, right now.
Stupid hobbits instructions bread. Why would they touch me as bread?
That's very good. That's very good.
We need to hire Liam.
That's good. That's good.
On the spot there a bit.
Can we talk about the game? where Geoff Keighley goes, we don't accept sexual harassment and all that other nonsense in this industry, but let's show off a game from a studio that has had reports of doing same type of stuff. And that game is Star Wars Eclipse.
I mean, I don't know what the hell it is, but it looks cool.
Guilty, I would say.
Well, yes, innocent is proven guilty, but there is an investigation being undertaken by French authorities into workplace practices at Quantic Dream. So let's wait for the outcome of that investigation.
However, it is a Star Wars game, though. It's just like, come on. Like, where are they going to not announce this? You're not going to turn down a Star Wars game.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not like. But it's not. It's not like.
Act earlier than thou all the livelong day.
For God's sake, I'm going to try and tell a joke. Shut up. It's not like David Cage rang up his personal assistant and threatened to kill her, and then just apologised and said it was hyperbolic. And it's not like he threatened to ruin a stewardess on a private plane because she reported that she was being sexually harassed by the pilot. So, in fact, David Cage is probably the second nicest person on the planet after Bobby Kotick.
I mean,
so do we want to talk about the game?
I mean,
what game? What game? We don't know what it is. There's nothing there.
There's a few details going around.
Well, I'm glad that you can tell me what they are, because other than there's an alien race who've taken up Japanese drumming, I don't know what I'm going to be doing.
I think one thing that, again, this is like a conceptual trailer, it's the first trailer. This game's like 4 years away. This again is my big problem with announcing games
the
early.
Universe in which we will do stuff.
Which we already seen all this stuff in other parts of Star Wars. So, like, nothing is new that I'm looking at right now that I haven't seen in any film or show or game.
The one thing that is new is it's set during the
High Republic.
The High Republic, which is in between the Old Republic and where the clone bullshit took place. The prequels, essentially. Was it 3 years before that?
Prequels are not bullshit. They're good films.
Years.
They're good films.
No, they're not.
The second one is
the fight scenes.
Revenge of the Sith is all right.
The fight scenes are absolutely brilliant. The rest of the films, pretty trash.
The second one's trash. The first and third one are pretty good. Third is one of my favorites of all time.
The first one is one of the most insufferably boring pieces of trash.
The third,
and the person for whom I'm named off of, Liam Neeson, is in that film. So
the third one is
you can follow Liam Neeson on Twitter.
The third one is one of my top 3 to top 5 best Star Wars movies of all time, because I think it's a really well done piece of work.
Based on the new films, that's not hard. I mean, I would put all of the prequels above Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yes.
I would put me vomiting into a bin bag after eating too much spaghetti on toast and drinking too much beer above the Rise of Skywalker.
That's where I put Solo, and then I put the Rise of Skywalker.
Actually, I would say that Solo is better than
Solo is so bad.
Matt knows how much.
As a person that doesn't even like Han Solo, it made me hate him more.
I thought it was a great movie. It was a lot of fun.
Panzu, spaghetti on toast, a very British thing. You get cans of Heinz spaghetti.
What is it with you guys and carbs on carbs?
It's a fabulous thing. I'm making garlic bread and pasta later.
Well, okay. Speaking of good things,
one of his American supermarkets.
It's
just carbs on carbs.
So, right.
Mitch,
please just kind of summarize Star Wars, and then let's get moving on to something more interesting.
Okay.
I said Mitch. You're not Mitch.
Sorry.
You're Black Liam Neeson.
Okay, I thought you wanted me to tell you what the game's
you may have a particular set of skills, but it seems like that particular set of skills is stepping on other people's lines right now.
Well, I was moving on. I was hoping to transition.
That's great. That's even better.
I said you landed on my joke and you ruined it. I was gonna say, let's talk about something good, which is, how about that Plague Tale Requiem, man?
Looks all right.
Plague Tale Innocence has sat on my Xbox ever since I got Game Pass.
It's great.
And
it's a great game.
It's sat on my hard drive.
I
need to stop playing Apex Legends. I'm terribly sorry.
You should play a Plague Tale Innocence. I think it's got a really well written and done story. It's a really good start to the series, and I really liked it. It is a stealth heavy stealth game, but I like that they're evolving the elements here and turning Alicia into a total badass where she can actually do more than stealth kills. And it gets really interesting in the third act of like what is actually happening. That I think it's made me more excited for this sequel because of the what has happened at the end that I won't spoil for you because you haven't played it yet, Keith, and I don't want you to, unless you want me to say it.
I'm not fussed about spoilers.
Okay, her brother.
I am.
Okay,
I am.
stop.
Don't want to hear it. Sorry.
Wow.
So I've heard varying things on this, and the two kind of opinions of people who may know of is so James Stephanie Sterling absolutely loves Plague Tale Innocence, is massively excited for Requiem. Conrad Zimmerman, who is her friend and regularly appears on the Podquisition, hates it. Can't get through the first hour.
It's got that. I could understand that. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was going to say the first one, my wife hates rats, so the fact that I don't think I'll ever be able to play that game with her in the room prevents me from jumping into it. But the second one actually looks kind of cool. I'm glad that they're expanding the world and the universe a little bit more. And it seems like it's going to be less a focus on the stealth and more just a third-person action adventure, which is cool.
I would say my one complaint, and on my YouTube channel back then, I did a spoiler review and a review for this game, and I watched it back once just to be like, oh, what was my thoughts at the time when I finished it? And the one thought I did say was, in the third act, in like the last big level set where you're trying to get through an area, it never really you never got to be creative as much with your abilities because you learned a brand new ability, so you're just using that one as you went through the final level, instead of being like, let's give you the opportunity to throw all your abilities all at once and like say try to make multiple strategies within that to be able to expand and show that you've grasped all this knowledge because you have so many different abilities now in stealth, and just use them all. And they never gave you that opportunity, which I felt bad about. So seeing that it's a little more action paced, my hope is that they'll do that, especially once you get near the end of the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, my beer's been working through me, so I'll be back in a moment. Please talk about something I don't give a shit about. So you can
let's
talk
go
about the
Alan Wake,
the Sonic movie,
or the Sonic movie.
Okay, let's talk about the Sonic movie, fella. Unless anybody else has anything on a Plague.
No, that's it.
Liam?
I think it looks good. I haven't played the first one, so I can't comment. But I think it does look like a big step up compared to the first game, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that stash with Drew Carey. I mean, not Drew Carey.
Oh, I was going to say what?
Jim Carrey.
With Jim Carrey.
And I love that he gave himself a superhero nickname. That's trademark pending.
Did you see the whole like Scottish routine that he did before that they showed the trailer?
Yeah.
Like it just like reminded me of exactly why I want to see this film. I literally just want to see Jim Carrey fucking on crack. Like just that's the whole reason I enjoyed the first film. I just enjoyed Jim Carrey being crazy.
I think yes, that was one huge element. I think the writing also was good in the film. It's not amazing, but it was good. It was good writing.
The first film isn't good.
I think
it isn't a good film.
It is a good film. It's a very good film.
It's not.
It's not a bad film in any of the chances.
It scratches a certain itch.
No, it doesn't.
It's not good.
No, it's a good film. It's got a great plot story. It's got great little snippets for fans that you didn't have to understand. That's why Rise of Skywalker is such a horrible film. This is the reason why this one is better, way better.
I can't let you get away with this, Mitch.
Matt Kyle agrees with me, and that's all that matters.
Matt Kyle is wrong. This is not a good film. Maybe it's one of those films that's like, man, it feels like this must be like one of the best films I've ever watched compared to how good I thought it was going to be. But
no, it's a good film. Matt, what are you going to say?
Have
you seen this movie? Have you seen this movie, Matt?
I didn't see the first one. When they originally announced it, I was like, this is
It's on Amazon Prime. Go watch it.
I don't think these movies are necessarily for us. I think these are geared towards children.
Usually I would say that, Matt, but I would disagree. As one that's seen the film,
I agree. As someone that's seen the film,
it has way more references for people that are fans that have been fans throughout the many decades of Sonic.
Well, yeah, sure, okay. So there's going to be some
films for references,
and there's some callbacks. So for the adults in the room that are taking their children to the movies to see this,
but I
get that. But I honestly think this is Sega's bid to try and make sure that they still have an audience in 10 years.
Well, they clearly do, because it is the best video game adaptation of all time in the box office. Animated, yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes.
Even Detective Pikachu from the previous year was better. Like, that was actually a good film,
I would say it's on par with this film, at least.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
It was on par. I'm super pumped. I think
if Jim Carrey was not in that film, it would be.
Right, you're super wrong. Let's move on.
All right, let's move on. How about we talk about that Sonic? How about that Sonic game, fellas?
Oh,
yeah.
Sonic breathing in the wilderness.
Yes, breathing in the wilderness, spinning around. I stole that from Keith. What do you think? What do you think it's going to entail? This game? Get it? Tails.
Spinning.
Tail.
It'll be interesting if it is an open world take on the Sonic formula.
How do you think they'll do the movement?
That before, and it was god awful, and there was Sonic falling in love with a human girl, and it was weird. And this is going to be shit.
Really open world per se. So
it's going to be shit. If it's not shit, I will be royally surprised. As a member of the royal family knocking on my door and then flashing me their bum and running off. That's how surprised I would be. This game would not be shit.
Oh, Keith, is there any comments since we've been gone? Because I don't have the comment section next to me.
The comments are saying, my God, that Keith guy, he's the most amazing. Please get him back on screen as soon as possible.
Well, we were very decisive about the Sonic movie, so I was wondering if anybody in the comments said anything about the Sonic movie.
I agree with Shelburne. The movie is complete rubbish. There we go.
And then Pansy said that he also likes, or she also likes, Detective Pikachu better.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
I'd take another Detective Pikachu movie over the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
But I'd take, I don't know, sticking a Q-tip, because you'll actually understand that reference too far in your ear. Sometimes that happens and you hurt your eardrum.
Yep.
I'd take that over a new Sonic movie as well.
Well, let's take a total reversal to that and talk about this new survival horror game that is not necessarily new, because it's been waited and long anticipated for 10 years, and that's Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. Did you guys play the original? I'm assuming Liam, you probably have.
I really like the original.
I can't finish it.
I wouldn't go as far as to say love, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, Keith, I tried so hard to play it in I think I tried to play it this year, in January.
Yeah, bad time. You should have played it when it came out.
And it is horrible with those controls. I couldn't even finish it. I couldn't. I was like, I cannot get through this gameplay. It is so bad.
No,
it was really good when it first came out, though.
Yeah, I think you're doing it a bit of a disservice saying it's that bad that you can't play it.
It's almost unplayable, and it's I played some.
Come on.
When I'm looking at some other games that I could play in the same era, because this is Xbox 360. It plays like an Xbox original, at the very beginning.
It was early in the cycle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. For someone who likes tank controls, I'm very disappointed in you.
This is not tank controls. This is not even close to tank controls.
I'm being a bit over the top, but I think it hasn't aged especially well. But it was a great game when it first came out.
I think the shooting. I think the shooting
one
controls
caveat,
are really bad. That's what it is.
One caveat: the final boss battle, terrible. Yeah, awful. I mean, so Mitch, if you had played through it and then you got to that, yeah, you would have just
smashed my controller.
Or just sent a really narkily worded email to Remedy Entertainment saying, "What were you thinking?"
Well, I mean, and they improved. I mean, they got control, and that was really good. So I'm anticipating the controls will be way better in this one. So I'll play it hands down.
At the time, I enjoyed it. Did I need to play another one? No. Is it going to come to Game Pass? It better, because otherwise I'm not buying it.
I don't think it is. Or did it say Game Pass underneath it? I can't remember.
I don't think it had anything. It just said Alan Wake 2 2023.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There was one game.
I don't think they revealed what platform.
Do you know what would be cool?
It's next gen platforms.
Well,
PS5,
I mean,
Xbox Series X and PC.
Okay, so but yeah, so for it's going to be out on everything. Then
I said something, so everyone pay attention. Do you know what would be cool? Is if the character from Control, whose name I've forgotten, shows up in Alan Wake 2.
Jesse Faden?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one, Jesse Faden. If she shows up in Alan Wake 2, and somehow you link those, because they're meant to be set in the same universe.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
But they already kind of did that with one of the DLCs.
Yes, so I'm hoping that happens, and you'll get more of that kind of Control style feel to the gameplay, not levitating and all that stuff, obviously, but just a smoother, not the frame rate, just some smoother gameplay, because the frame rate tanked like a bastard playing that.
Yeah, I really need to play Control.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
Can we talk about what after The Expanse and Horizon Forbidden West was what I thought looked the best at the Game Awards, which was Forspoken.
I was gonna say, is it Forspoken? Because I would agree with you. I think this is one of the best showings.
It looks good graphically. I'm still concerned with the whole that character being like an avatar for you exploring this world type of thing.
The fish out of water
yeah,
plot.
The fish out of water trope. I'm concerned about that, but at least with this trailer, we've got a little more of the story, and it does seem a lot more interesting than the prior two trailers that we've seen.
Also, at least we know the reason why it's called Project Athia, because the world is called Athia.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
yeah,
I little reference that makes sense.
Okay, now we figured out where Panzer is from. Hello to Europe. Yeah, Square Enix, what the actual fuck on the price?
What do you mean?
So they're the first third-party publisher to say that they're going to put the prices up on Steam.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, on Steam. Gotcha. Okay,
yep.
Sorry. I was like, they're not the first ones to put it to $70.
That doesn't really surprise me.
That doesn't surprise me either.
All of their remasters are grossly overpriced.
I mentioned this earlier when we mentioned Final Fantasy VII Retrograde. Because everybody's excited to play it next week, but it's like, but you got to pay £70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at least that one's the expanded version. So like it was like it. Like when you look at it, if you bought the original version, you are paying technically less because the upgrade cost what, $15?
I'm not sure that argument works, Mitch. I think you're still paying £10 more than you should. That's a problem.
No.
You gotta get over it. It's happened. It's done. You can't change it. Can't go back.
The only thing that we can do is don't buy the games. Do not buy games full price. It's almost as if the games industry is teaching us not to buy games at launch.
Well,
which I don't do because you.
I mean, honestly, like with what Square's been doing and the deals that they have with Microsoft, it'll probably come to Game Pass. I'm okay with it.
No, it's an exclusive to PlayStation and PC.
For when it comes out, 3 years on, it'll be on everything.
Later.
Oh, it might. We don't know. We'll see.
Probably will.
So then 2 or 3 years later, when
no one cares.
I'm never ever paying full price for a game other than caveat other than the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, paying full price for a game
that wasn't
ever
£70
again.
as well. So
I also will say, like, it does make sense why this would go to 70 because it isn't coming for last gen hardware.
That's
So
that's
bullshit.
That's a
I'm
bullshit
sorry.
argument.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, mate. You have swallowed the marketing ploy
no,
on that one.
I'm not buying it saying I'm happy with it. I'm just telling you the reason why they did it. Like why
No,
it makes
that's not a reason why they're
makes
doing
sense to them.
They're putting the price up because they can, not because games cost more to make. You can choose how much you spend on game development. You can choose to then price it.
That's not what I said, though.
And plus, Mitch,
that's not what I said.
Because it was a last gen game that was pointed to next gen platforms.
It doesn't matter. That's not what I said. I said it's only coming to the next gen hardware. Therefore, if you're paying, let me finish. The difference is you can only buy it for either PlayStation or PC. If you're going to buy it for PlayStation, it's only available for next gen, which is $70. So why would they marketing
PlayStation 4?
No, it's not. It's not coming to PlayStation 4. It said
it's a PlayStation 4 game. It started there.
It doesn't matter where it started. It's coming out for only PlayStation 5.
No, it's not, Mitch. It's a game that was on PlayStation 4, and then they made a PlayStation 5 version of it. You can buy the DLC, the same product.
Who cares?
Like, why are you defending the publisher?
I'm not defending. I'm trying to say it would be. I would say it would be stupid for Square Enix to charge a different price on a different platform if it's the only one version is available. Like, it's not like the last gen version is available. That's why Capcom did for Resident Evil Village that you could pay $60 for the PC version, because what you got was not the next gen version. It was the PS4 version of the game. I looked it up. Most of the time when they're charging you $60 for the game, it is the backwards version. It is not the next gen version of that game. So when you're paying $70, you do get the next gen upgrades. So like, what do you want? Do you rather have them pay $60 and get like a PS4 version on PC? Hell no. PC fans would be pissed. So, like, what do you want? It's happened. Get over it. It's not going to change.
I don't know how to tell you this, but PC gamers have been playing games in 4K at 240 frames per second for years now, with all of the ambient occlusion in the world, and all of the top-of-the-line technology you can get, and yet games have stayed below £70. You know, just saying. This argument is stupid.
I'm not arguing the price thing. Like, I am totally not in favor of increasing the price for games. Like, I think it is stupid. I think it is ridiculous. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying this is what the developer thinks, and I'm trying to create a different viewpoint for them. That's
$70 for £70.
I have a Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's cool.
That amount that you're paying for the game is just to it's FOMO tax is what it is.
Yeah,
because
it's an official Matt, it's an official Game of Thrones lager. Winter is here.
I need to know, Keith, was that made before the last season of Game of Thrones, or was it made after?
Because if it was made after, because
I don't care about the can.
The best before date is the 22nd of September next year, so it must have been made afterwards, because it wouldn't last that long otherwise. Yes, anyway, Forspoken looks good, never paying full price for it. Screw you, Square Enix.
I mean, I pay full price for games all the time, so I probably will, because I want to play the game right away, but that's the price I pay.
Yeah, if you want to play it right away, that's
the price I have to pay.
You know that there's going to be a premium for it, so...
Yep, and I'm willing to... And for some games, I'm willing to bite that bullet. In some games, I'm
going to buy Horizon Forbidden West at full price.
Yeah,
but I will try to avoid it as much as I can.
Ooh.
I will buy God of War at full price because I'm not afraid of it, like in that capacity.
Yeah. But if us as an audience buy less games at full price, then the market will react to it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, exactly.
It already does. There's a lot of games that come out at full price that don't do well, and literally a month later here's 30% off, or here's
interestingly, Guardians of the Galaxy was £60, and then Black Friday went half price,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
insane.
after that, it's gone back up to £60.
Well, also it kind of hurt it a little bit because it's most people perceived it as, you know, the sequel to Avengers, and so therefore their conception of how Avengers flopped hurt their wanting to buy it at full price, which then forced them to drop the price.
Yeah, it's now rubber banded back up.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Does anyone have anything fun, nice
We have
they want to talk about?
We have one more that we have not talked about that is on my list of stuff, and that is the Saints Row.
Oh, well, I've got more games than that.
Yeah, but so we'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's fine. We'll get to it. It's all good, Liam. I mean, chill, man. It's no need to get this irate about video games.
He got me worked up, man. He got me worked up.
They're only unnecessarily putting the price of video games up by £10 for no good goddamn reason, other than they're greedy. I mean, get over it. One more.
I don't. Yeah.
Sometimes people. You just got to pay £10 extra for no good reason.
and McWobble, it's from my line of work is you can't control everything, and if you can't control something, just get over it and move on. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
I've got a metaphorical bag of fuck it that I open up and sweep a great much stuff into, and then close that metaphorical bag of fuck it, because there's only so much I can deal with at once.
So about that Saints Row.
If you want to buy a metaphorical bag of fuck it, they're only £70 UK from the McWomble store. If you can get them for £50 UK using discount code hashtag fuck it.
Was the Game Awards that bad that we just talked more about $70 games than we are talking about the Game Awards?
Well, so there's two things I'd like to mention after talking about very quickly after talking about Saints Row
and the other games, because I do want to quickly chat about the overall Game Awards and what we think.
I've got two others as well.
So Saints Row, what do we think? I've only played one Saints Row game, and this one seems more like Saints Row than that first trailer.
So I've played 3 and 4. I love 4. That's like one of my favorite games of all time. This looks like it's a little toned down from 4, but it still has the goofy wackiness that the early trailers did not convey. Like it seemed like they were going in a wholly different direction. This trailer actually looks like Saints Row, and it seems like more of a known quantity this time around. So I'm more likely to play this one now, having seen this trailer.
I'd say I don't really give a shit about anything story related in Saints Row games. I usually just hop on them with some buddies and have a jolly good time. And this game looks like it will continue that trend, and that's fine.
If I want to shaft it to Rockstar, this is the game to buy. Because you get the same experience.
You have a very similar experience, yeah.
Dear Rockstar, I'm going to buy this game so you don't gouge me for microtransactions in GTA Online. Thank you.
Or so I don't. I'm buying this so I don't have to buy your next game that's never coming out. Goodbye.
Or, do you know what we think we should do? This could be our intervention moment for Michael.
Oh, okay. Sit him down.
We all
we buy him Saints Row and we force him to play it.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna just say the Saints Row games don't hold a candle to Rockstar games. Just gonna say that.
In what way?
They may be a shit company in a lot of ways, but Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of my favourite open world games, and I'm sure many people would agree, including Michael. But it's just on a different level in terms of gameplay and the amount of content, good content. You know, you don't have to like Grand Theft Auto, but it's the top-selling game in the world for a reason.
What's considered good? Like, I need more description. I want to know the difference. I'm trying to find out.
This is a much longer chat than I can chat for, but I just
because you
need to say my piece about it.
Because we mentioned Grand Theft Auto 5, even though Michael is in Romania, his Superman-style ear detector's gone off, and he's probably logging into GTA Online as we speak.
I think what we've deduced from this conversation is that GTA 5 is the black tar heroin of the market, and Saints Row is more like the methadone.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Doesn't mean I want to buy that game again on PlayStation 5 for $70. Fucking Rockstar, but I do love that game.
So, what you're basically the analogy that you've just used, Matt, is so that if you get addicted to one and you try and wean yourself off on the other, if you go back to the other one, you're more likely to kill yourself.
Yep, absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So now it's time for our favorite segment, Liam's Quick Games of the Game Awards.
Okay. I just bringing up two games that I thought everybody had pretty much forgotten about. One was Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I think that looks great.
Meh.
There was another Warhammer game too that they debuted right before that.
Meh.
Well, cool. Since we're just kind of going off Dan's wet dream, do you want to talk about June Spice Wars as well?
Hold on, Liam. It's Liam's segment. It's Liam's segment.
You just said I could bring up games and then you cut me off and don't let me talk about it.
Sorry.
It's like, did you see how good that trailer looked? Because at the end it like showed a whole bunch of gameplay and stuff, and I was like, wow, because that's a next-gen exclusive, and just the amount of freaking things going on in the backgrounds of those environments was absolutely gorgeous.
It looks
Unreal
the
Engine
trailer.
5 game.
The CG trailers go. That was a really impressive trailer.
Yeah.
However, I care nothing for Warhammer.
Meh. Yeah,
the first game was quite good. That's my only thing, because I don't like Warhammer either. But the first game was pretty good.
Jesus, Keith, for this segment, I really just need a sign that says "I'm with Keith." Today's that day. Go ahead, Liam. What's your next game?
You could probably burn it because you'd never use it again.
Yeah, exactly. A one-time use. Go ahead, Liam. What's your second?
Arc Raiders, which is a game from pretty much all of the top talent at DICE.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this a MMO?
Yeah. Well, no. It's basically a free-player co-op game. You play with friends. It's like set in a gigantic like open world, and you're fighting machines that are sent down from, I guess, alien spaceships or something that just keep landing on the planet.
That's the one.
I watched the trailer, and I just thought, if this is an MMO. No, thank you.
I thought it was a battle royale game.
That's what I thought too. And
No.
And I was actually slightly shocked when you were so you and I were on Discord together during that section, and when you were saying like, "Oh, this looks great," I was like, "This game?" Because I was I was utterly confused. I just grabbed B-roll, so I'll put it up. But
the engine. Oh my god!
I did think for a minute of being like, are we looking at the same thing? Because I thought you were like ahead of me because I thought it was a different game, and I was like, this doesn't look that great.
Okay, so Shelburne, thank you.
Free to play as well.
Arc Raiders is a free-to-play reimagined cooperative shooter that offers intense struggle in every session. Together with your squad, defend our home and resist the onslaught of Arc. A ruthless mechanized is spelt wrongly, by the way, because that should have an S and not a Z. Or as you would say, Z.
A Z.
Z. Threat descending from space.
Yeah, so that's, even by that description, I was like, oh, that sounds like a battle royale game to me. Each session, you go through okay.
I don't know.
Especially because it's free to play, too. That's another big element.
All I need is 2 friends, and I think I would enjoy this.
If it's another Outriders,
my thing is that I like the way that they're designing all of the machines. It reminds me a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn, where they put that much effort into one enemy, and all of the physics. You're thinking about a game like from DICE, with all destruction and all that stuff, and it shows in the trailer little bits of machinery breaking off of the machines and falling on people, and there's little balls in between, and they're just going through the map and everything and destroying buildings and trees and stuff like that. I just think that looks awesome.
So actually, sorry everyone, Shelvin's made a really good point, which is how is this going to get monetized?
Yeah.
And he spelled monetized with a Z just to annoy me.
Also, I would say I don't. Looking at this trailer, I don't know if I would agree with you to say that they have the complexity of something like a Horizon, beast. Like it's simple to just make particles fly out of something once it gets fully destroyed, and these mechs look very generic.
The one thing that I would say about this, the lighting looks amazing.
Yeah, the lighting's good, and I think that's what makes the game stand out a bunch, is because of the environment with the lighting.
My personal preference is if you just enjoy like playbox games, games that have everything in the game that feels a bit like you never know what you're going to get when you're playing the game, because things can happen differently every time because of the destruction and the way that the enemies are designed, and you could just end up in awesome, like, great situations that you have to work together in. I think that's pretty exciting, and knowing the talent that's at that studio and how much the talent leaving DICE has affected it in a very bad way over the last few years.
Are you saying that the launch of Battlefield 2042 had been reflected in the talent that's been leaving DICE?
Just
you
slightly
could go
rocky.
back to the launch of Battlefield 5, Keith, and things have been on the downward trend,
So I've got one question. Liam, will you play this game with me?
Yeah, sure.
Good.
I mean, I want to play it.
All right, now you can talk about your thing, Matt, you wanted to talk about.
I don't remember what I wanted to talk about.
Dune.
Oh, Dune. Yeah, I think Dune looks cool. It looks like it's going back to Dune 2 PC.
Well, it was a 4X game.
Also, how can you know that? You didn't see anything. It was a CG trailer.
They showed what it was going to look like. It's a top-down.
Did they? I don't think they did.
That was
top-down strategy.
It's top-down strategy, 4X. If it comes to Game Pass, Dan will be all over that.
Oh, absolutely.
Dan will just buy it.
Dan might buy it.
Dan will be rolling in that like a dog who found some fox shit in the park.
All right. Any other games that we want to talk about before we just talk about the ceremony itself?
Star Trek.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the one I have on here that I was trying to ignore.
And there was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which isn't Borderlands because it's spelt with Wonderlands, but it's exactly the same game. Who cares? And then Metal Hellsinger. Where the hell did that come from?
Well, hold up. I'm pulling up Star Trek for you.
I know. I'm just whizzing through some stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Whilst you were doing your
thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Star Trek. What do you want? What do you like about it? I mean, I just think it's another Telltale game, but I guess.
So, I think one of the issues that Star Trek games in the past have had is you spend a lot of time doing action stuff, which is not really what the Star Trek universe is. And so I think this being a Telltale game or Telltale style game, you hopefully will have some puzzles to solve. You'll be able to make interesting story decisions, and it should feel more like a Star Trek than some of the other games in the past have been. The other thing too is this is set in the proper Prime universe and not that crap that's on CBS All Access, Paramount Plus, right now. So that I'm excited about too.
Star Trek Discovery, #not my Trek, #not my Klingons.
I agree wholeheartedly with what you said though, Matt, because I just want a game with good writing set in the Star Trek universe where you think about it, like conceptually, all of your actions having consequences when you're dealing with the mission, you're dealing with your teammates, and you're dealing with being their boss and all of those things. If it's well written, that could be a perfect direction for.
Yeah, I'd rather have The Expanse than this, if I'm honest.
For me,
I'm happy there's both though.
I'm not gonna turn down both, but for me, if someone say, "Sorry, Matt, I'm talking," Jesus, how rude are you? If someone were to say, "So Keith, which would you prefer to play, The Expanse story-driven Telltale style game or Star Trek Resurgence?" I'd say The Expanse, thank you very much. Can I also bite your hand off?
No.
I guess Star Trek for me is kind of like over my head a bit. Like I've seen some.
I know.
I've seen
it was in the 1960s. It was before everyone's time, not just yours.
I know, but like I've seen the J.J. Abrams films. I know of like famous people within it, like Oh, geez, now I forgot their names, even though they're famous. No insult to them. But you know, I don't know if I'd play this, to be honest.
That's fair. The one criticism that I will give it though is the graphics look pretty poor.
The animation's pretty
Yeah.
poor
It
too.
looks very budget.
Like
It
you see her
looks
cross
pretty
her
much like an old
legs.
Telltale game.
It's sorry.
Yeah, it looks like a 360 Telltale game. Yeah, for sure.
It's
Yeah.
a little sad to say, but like you know, when like the way she's crossing her legs, just the animation on it is just not very good.
It looks like an automaton. Lift leg,
Like
lift leg under, lift leg, leg down.
yeah. It's very robotic. I'm like, is she a robot? Is that the twist? Like, the graphics are so bad because we want her to be a robot.
Right. Let's finish on a happy note.
Well, it was happy for you. Is Star Trek not happy?
No, not really. So, like I said, Expanse, Horizon Forbidden West, and Forspoken were my top 3 showings. Another one that the more I see about it, the more I think this looks really interesting, is Chea.
Oh yeah, that one indie game.
Oh, it's TCH or whatever.
Yeah, TCHIA.
That actually looks really cool. I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like a good indie game, but I probably won't play it.
Looks like an awesome get home from a hectic day at work and just relax and explore the world.
Just force some wildlife to your will.
Yeah.
Go and do what you want.
You think this will be a PlayStation Plus or whatever PlayStation eventually calls their new service, like day one game?
Pass.
Possibly the new service. That could be possible.
I don't know. I just really like the art style. I really like the setting.
Yeah.
I'd happily play it.
Here, I'll show it off really quick because I did get the B-roll.
It kind of reminds me of Journey or Rhyme, but with a lot more going on.
Actual gameplay.
In terms of mechanics, there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, I think it's got charisma. It's got everything you want in a trailer. I just don't. It's probably just not for me as like an individual person. But it looks gorgeous. It's probably one of the prettiest games I've seen in a while. Like
I love the color palette.
It looks just as good as Horizon in regards to like the color palette combined with the art style. I think it looks as unique and good as something like Horizon in regards to like it stands out.
It's almost Wind Waker.
Yeah, for sure. Like this is what I would imagine Wind Waker would look like if they actually like redid it on actual like hardware that could look this good.
I mean, from the trailer, that's not how a lantern would work. But
no.
Also, the way she flung off that that pine tree, she kind of looked. She does it better than Link would do. The way she flipped like that was pretty impressive.
Well, Link's rubbish, really. He's not even a fox. Liam, final thought from you?
For the Game Awards as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole.
Okay, well, I'll say that everybody's very negative on this, but I really don't see much difference between this and last year. In fact, I would say this was better in a lot of aspects than last year because the advertising was so much less annoying.
Yes.
Like last year, the advertising was just so
pervasive,
in your face.
wasn't it? It was just in your face all the time.
A lot of it just had nothing to do with games as well, and it was...
Yeah.
It was shit, and
how else am I going to know what kind of razor to use whilst I'm not playing video games?
Exactly, and they front-loaded last year with just so much of the good announcements, to the point where the whole second half of the show was just so boring. This year, it was still pretty boring, but they spaced them out a bit better, I would say. To where, I'm having to stay up until... Well, I'm not having to, but I forced myself to stay up until 4 a.m. to watch it. And I'm a fucking idiot for doing that, but I enjoyed it a lot more than last year just because it was paced better. And that's even without having, like awards that you actually give a shit about this year, considering the quality of games last year compared to this year. There's a bit more to be interested in. So I think simultaneously people are a bit unfairly harsh on it, and at the same time I think maybe they need to get their expectations sorted out, because it's like, if you're expecting what I think you're expecting, then maybe you're at fault and not the actual award ceremony.
Dan, if you can post how excited you are on a scale of 1 to orgasmic in the chat for the June Spice Wars 4X game, that would be great. So, Mitch, overall thoughts on the Game Awards?
Skip me, come back to me in a minute, because we didn't talk about something that I want to throw in with that at the same time.
Okay, so you thought it was fine? I'm going to buy a car, update my driving license, insure the car, drive to Lincoln, and slap you. Because that was the only 4X game that was announced. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I thought you were talking about Liam for a second. I was like, oh, I thought Liam said he liked a lot.
Dan's just said he needs a new PC to get him orgasmic. So I'd say it was okay. It was what I was expecting. It was some awards and lots of game announcements, and Hideo Kojima showed up. The Game Awards.
Yeah.
Or the Advert Awards, as you say.
The game adverts.
Yeah.
Matt?
I think my favorite advertisement was the Pete Hines Bethesda old school. Looked like it was playing from a VCR, and he was saying that they need people to come work for Bethesda, and all the game codes were scrolling through.
Yeah, and they said that they're running out of platforms to port Skyrim to.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
That was funny.
But I think overall, I enjoyed it. I think Keighley did a lot of what I think he should have done last year, which was shift more of the advertising over to game-centric stuff. Get rid of if only it hadn't had the fucking Verizon 5G shit thrown in for no good reason. Most of the advertising seemed to fit. I didn't mind it. So Mitch. I enjoyed it overall.
Disappointingly, I think it's not as. It could be so much better, and yeah, is it better than it has been in the past? Yes. An example I could easily say, like, to make it better is, why the hell do you have Imagine Dragons out there when you could just take that time to give an award to an actual game developer? Like, come on. Like this is where let me finish. I will. I gotta say something about this. To be truthfully honest, once this game actually starts caring about its awards, I will start caring more about the Game Awards. Because to be truthfully honest, they need to. This is insane. The fact that they're still. Now, I can understand, like, certain awards where it would be something as specific as, like, esports, like best esports player. Like, that's not an actual game. Like, this is the Game Awards. When you skip over basically best RPG like that, you don't have respect for the actual games that you're trying to give awards to, and I think that's a shame. And there's certain sections of this awards that, while watching the Game Awards, of being like, you could have gotten rid of that, because technically you're paying Imagine Dragons to be there. It's not like you're raking in money for them being at the award show and use that to give the award.
How much did they pay Sting?
Oh, right. It was a great performance too.
That was good.
I get it, but you're paying them to do that, and you don't need them to be there to make the awards. Because what's the poll? The poll that Beer Annoyed Gamer, Marcus Beer, put out there and said, "What do people watch?" And they said, and it was like I think it was like a 30 to 60 for the reveals and the awards. And yes, the reveals got higher. But when you look at it, yes, the reveals got higher, but they are not watching this for Imagine Dragons and Sting. They're watching it for the awards. Get rid of those two things and actually give these awards out. Like, this is point where it's ridiculous. And then the one thing we forgot to show off was the Matrix, which I think that is cool. Like, That's a great way to bring in somebody to tie into games that is current. Like to talk about one game and do a song to reward them for 10 years. It's like, no, come on, man. Come on. I'm going to show off Matrix while we talk.
The Matrix thing was, I think it's just a joint marketing gimmick, right?
Which is a smart idea, like for the Matrix.
Yeah, it's a great way to show off Unreal 5, and you also get advertising and marketing out there for the movies.
I kind of agree with what's going on in chat, which is if this was more of an award show, it would be boring as fuck.
I don't think it would be. Because these people
so.
care.
I don't know that I would watch it if it was.
I'd watch it if you want a proper gaming award show. Watch the Dice Awards.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing:
right
you can do both. You can still have it be what it is currently, and still give out all the awards. It's possible. It's just they choose not to do it.
All the awards given
I don't
out.
want to see it. I don't want to see an esports team I've never heard of.
No, but that's the
care.
thing. I don't care. That's the ones like you don't. They don't even need awards for those. Like. They don't have to.
Best content creator.
They don't need awards for those. But I do want to see best RPG up there. If you're going to give action adventure a moment on the stage to say thank you for making this amazing action adventure game, why not give it to best RPG? What the hell is that about? What the hell is that about, right?
So are you cherry picking who is?
I'm talking about the specific games. Like if it is an awards for a specific type of game category, not necessarily like esports or best content creator. I'm talking about the actual game creators that are making these games that that they're getting votes for. Like they wouldn't jip Halo Infinite. Like if they won an award, they wouldn't do that.
Can I give out? I'm going to wrapping us up. Thank you very much for all your time. It's been a pleasure.
Don't forget to come back to me.
Don't forget to come back and watch us next week, where we'll have the last quiz of the year. Mitch versus Evan for the decider, because it's currently all tied up.
And Mitch could go for a twofer.
Mitch does not deserve all this power.
Beat me, fellas. Beat me.
So one thing I would say is how good of the game director of Forza Horizon not to get up and just slap Keighley in the face and say, how dare you snub my game. We're one of the highest reviewed games of the year. And what do we get? We get sports and racing and
audio. We got the accessibility
and audio.
Okay, so
they got 3.
Accessibility, well deserved. They did do a lot, but still, it's just he should have just run up to Keighley, grabbed his shirt collars and ripped the vajazzle off, and just threw it on the floor and say, "How dare you snub my game?" Liam, take us out.
Okay. First of all, I don't give a shit about the awards. I would not care if they disappeared. Don't give a fuck. It's arbitrary. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay. Secondly, people need to stop shitting on Imagine Dragons. Like,
I like Imagine Dragons.
Boring. It's getting more boring. People shitting on Imagine Dragons than Imagine Dragons themselves right now. Like, this joke has gone on far enough.
If they brought out Madonna, I would be making fun of Madonna right now. It's not Imagine Dragons the band. I like the band. It's that they don't need to be there. They don't need to be there.
I need to finish my point. Right? Imagine Dragons, I've listened to all their albums. Yeah, there's fucking shit on those albums. But some of it's actually pretty good. They're not untalented. But the fucking hate is just really infuriating. So if everybody could just shut up. Because you're all far more annoying than Imagine Dragons being on the soundtrack for the next Smurfs film. Fuck up!
I know the name of this band. I've never heard of a song that... I've probably heard a song that they've done. Mitch, cue the music. If you've got any Imagine Dragons, maybe whack that on. We can get a copyright takedown and then we take it off. We can maybe make some money off of this for about 30 seconds.
Well, Keith, before I play music, I just have to ask you. Would you agree with me that like the premise of where I'm saying is like the games that actually are games for those categories, like not best esports and all that kind of stuff, do deserve time on stage?
If you're going to allow time for one specific award, you should allow time for all the others. Otherwise, you're potentially showing that you value those less.
And that is my point, and that is our show.
Oh my god, I've agreed with Mitch pretty much through the entire show.
It is possible that nobody from Bandai Namco is there to accept the awards. They just preached
that's also.
Well, I just felt bad for Tales of Arise. It's their first win, and they didn't get to stand up there and say anything.
Then if that's the case, you say no one from Bandai Namco could be here.
Those moments are always awkward and
well, it doesn't matter. What did Nintendo have Dredd read a statement that sounded so corporate? It was so just
saying,
cringe.
I live in the real